Good morning. I want to show you something. You see if you can see the bees. Do you see that? Do you see that bee? That bee is not a typical honeybee, but it is a bee nonetheless. And it is helping to pollinate these plants. Now there's a regular honeybee. It's also helping to pollinate the plant. See? There are bees all over this plant. I have all these flowers because this plant, which is Swiss chard, see there's a big one there, is going to seed. And that's a wonderful thing. I mean, that is truly a wonderful thing that it's going to seed, because first off, the seeds will be open pollinated, right? Look at that. And that's better for the plant, it's better for the animals, it's better for the environment. All the way around, it's better. So here's the dilemma though. If I don't want my, look at all these bees on there. I think it's amazing that we have multiple species of bees also out here at the same time pollinating. I think it's amazing. Yay! So normally when you harvest Swiss chard, you've got the head of chard and you harvest the head of chard. And when you do that, you're not allowing the plant to go to seed. Well, I like all of my plants to go to seed because I really enjoy this pollination process. I think the flowers are pretty, and I don't see any reason why I cannot enjoy the plant and the pollination. So what do? I don't harvest the entire head. No. What I do is I come and I will just take the large leaves. You see, I took a large leaf. And that leaves the smaller leaves that would form into a head, that leaves them open, and they actually start to open out and spread out like these. So I have a continual harvest. I don't have just one harvest of one head. Each head gives me multiple harvests. So I only take the outer leaves, what I need, and then the plant can still go to seed. I want to show you some of the pods. Let me see if I can see the pods. Do you see those pods? Do you see them? These? Those are seed pods. And I know that they're fertilized because I see the bees on them. So I'm going to harvest the large leaves, leave the smaller ones, and then the plant continues to grow. It's a win-win for everyone. Usually when there's a market garden, people harvest the entire head because that's what they're used to seeing at the stores. But we have to remember that farmers are interested in selling their crop and not seeds. And when people want seeds, they turn to a seed farmer, and the seed farmer doesn't harvest his crop. He allows the crops to go to seed. Look at that. Different bees, 2 different species on one plant at the same time. It's amazing. Yay, I love it. So that's why people aren't used to seeing seeds on their plants, because they have a seed farmer when they want seeds. So that's why people are used to seeing heads. I don't know. I have a feeling that if you talk about, a few hundred years ago when farmers had to feed themselves, or when people had their own gardens, I really don't think that they harvested everything, the entire head, and didn't allow the crop to go to seed, because that would mean that they would not have that crop next year. So I found a way that I can harvest and have a seed. And take a look. That's a lot. So I harvested from multiple plants, and I have the equivalent to a large head. See that? And I didn't harm the plant any. And next week I come out, and guess what? I do the same thing. So I have a chard harvest every week from all of my plants in season, and I still get to enjoy the seeds at the end of the season. One thing you must remember when you're harvesting leaves is that you have to make sure that there are enough leaves remaining on the main stem that the plant can still photosynthesize from the sun. If you take off all the leaves, the plant isn't going to do well. So you have to make sure that you still have some leaves. Once the large ones are harvested, you can even harvest the smaller ones. So really, all the way up until the very end of this particular plant's life, you can harvest. So these leaves taste a little bit different from the original charred head leaves, but they're still edible, and they still taste good, especially if you saute them up in a stir fry. I don't know why I called it Swiss chard. That's bok choy. Swiss chard's on the other side of the garden. That is bok choy. Definitely bok choy. I mean, no doubt about it. Bok choy. So, there you have it. Until next time.